it hit around 14, 15 once I noticed, like, with the hustle kicked in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I could make some bread with this talent. Like, I'm pretty good at this. Because it started out as, like, all right, I love these cartoons and such, and I have this ability, and I'm bored, so... I was just a copy machine at one point. And at one point, I was like, all right, I got the skill down. Let me make something of this. And
it came from there. Snowballed. Yeah. Where'd you go to high school at?
Franklin. Somerset.
Franklin. Honestly, you know what's funny? I met some friends from Franklin back in college, and man, we got fucking crazy stoned. I met this one dude who like was missing like some teeth, and like he was like all like he I guess like took a spill on a longboard.
I mean,
skinned his whole arm up.
Franklin's a pretty mixed bowl.
I mean,
individuals.
There were some characters.
With.
Yeah, some real characters.
Yeah. I know if you talk about some certain years, I know some stories, and I know it's a lot beyond that too. So
yeah, Franklin. Yeah. I don't know if you know where I'm from, Sayreville. You probably heard some crap about Sayreville.
Yeah, I've heard some here and there about Sayreville too, but you know,
we're not gonna elaborate.
I mean,
nah, but back to the fact that like the name of your stuff, it's draw cool shit, more or less, and it's like it's almost like, you know, you get what you see.
So as I was raised as a pretty open kid. You say what you think and you think what you say. So pretty much shit was shit. Like, it was a mixture of everything. So when I say shit, I mean literally a mixture of everything that is me. From the 90s cartoons to the funky purples and turquoises and the Nickelodeon throwback and just the late night Toonami. All of that we have in common, I put into my art, but with that funky, stylistic, you know, like graffiti mixing. And
that's the vibes. It's like anime. If anime and graffiti had a baby.
Yes.
But the parents...
And a little bit of street style graffiti and hip hop. That's what I do, and that's what I love. So that's my shit. It comes out all as one, because everything that I do tells a story. But, you know, the story starts out as one piece and comes out all together in the end. So, shit is shit. So, cool shit. But when we do got to clean it up, it's DCS, which is draw cool stuff for the kids. So,
of course.
Yeah.
Child friendly.
Yeah.
That's important, though. You don't want to make anybody feel left out.
Yeah, nah.
Do you play sports as a kid? Or you were like, art only, dude?
And Mom tried to push me into a few of them, like, because, you know, the parents, and especially your dad, wants you to do football, basketball.
Of course.
I tried out, and it was like I was semi-athletic, but yeah, no, my brain was like, nah, when we gonna get to sit down and we gonna eat some snacks and just be off, read some comic books and draw and shit. Because, that's not for me.
You love comics, you said?
Yeah.
What kind of comics?
As a kid, every week, I would do whatever I could to make, like I said, when that change started kicking in, like I need some money, I would get like my aunt or grandmother or my mother to drop me at the comic book store. And I'd always just cipher through all the books that I could within the hour or so that the adult would give me. And mostly Marvel, mostly Amazing Spider-Man to be specific, which was when I got heavy into detail, was around 15 or 16 with Todd McFarlane, which is one of my favorite comic book artists to this day, which is also the creator of Spawn, which is my first black superhero, which also helped me fall in love with comic books. So yeah, that's where a lot of my lineage comes from.
You know what I actually have at home?
What?
A first edition Spawn. In the plastic. I think I might gem mint it. And you know what's crazy?
I got 2 in the stash.
You got... It's immaculate. I haven't even opened it. I want to, but I'm like, dude, you look at it online.
I have the collection books too, so I would study those instead as a kid. And
I love that.
Open up my special editions and keep them in the plastic. And I'm like, how you keep them all together? It's like, bro, all I do is look at it once. I draw it, then I put it away. We never touching this shit again.
You know what's funny? Spawn is it's very niche. It's it's Canadian comic. So like if you know, it just says something about like.
But even the story of how he started Image Comics with his friends because DC Comics was fucking him over, and he decided to go with a black superhero, like a black vigilante at that goes to hell.
But you know what it is? it says a lot about the times then and what it is. You know what I mean? It makes you think about how much things have changed and how much they're going to change towards the future.
True.
But that's sick. And you into manga or anime?
Yeah, eventually fell into the manga. Well, no, I was always into the Dragon Ball Z.
Of course.
Because eventually when kids started telling me about that, of course, that was heavy around the magazine time. That was before social media.
Shonen Jump?
Yeah. I still have copies on my... I actually found that originally from my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And you got the subscription in the mail?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I found my $12 a month to get my subscription. I still got this shit on the shelf to this day.
I got a whole bunch too. I have from 2009 to like 20, like till they finish, till they have no more.
My original one was from like 1992.
Oh.
It had Super Saiyan 3 Goku on it. Can't read any of it. I would just like go over it over and over again until I finally took the subscription. I was like, Ma, I know we live in Newark, New Jersey, which is in the middle of the hood.
Yeah.
But can you help me with this?
Do
like, fill this
please.
out? And the first one came with like Obelisk the Tormentor.
I got that
the
one.
Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I actually have that edition of the card, but I didn't get it with but that's sick, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's like, it's so cool to see how anime is like mainstream nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, deep down, it kind of hurts. In a weird way, it's bittersweet. You remember when people clown on you? Oh, you like anime?
Yeah.
Brother, used to roast me.
You drawing them little Japanese characters again? Yes, I am.
Yep.
I ain't gonna stop either.
Because I remember I got these Dragon Ball Z VHSs. I found them in my garage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm like...
Boy, them was like gold.
I still have them. Now, I guess you were 2000s baby, right?
Yeah.
93?
I was born in 93.
93. Yeah. Now, that's a weird peak. Like to be... I guess you were what? If I'm correct, like 10 in 2003? So do you remember 9/11?
Yeah, I actually do. I remember that very day. Because oddly, even though being a stoner and shit, I do remember key points in my life, which the art has helped a lot with.
Exactly.
So when 9/11 went down, I was in 5th grade. And I remember living in Newark, New Jersey at Vailsburg Christian Academy. And my homie Andre had just got up to go to the bathroom. And I was waiting by the window to go next. And then I just heard a big ass boom, and you could see from the opposite window from Newark, you could see the smoke slowly. And then we had a bunch of calls coming in to the teacher, like, all right, such and such is going home, and we're calling on the parents. And I was one of the last kids to go home, and I literally lived right around the block.
You could have walked there.
But they didn't want to let me go because of all of the panic that was going on.
That's crazy.
Mind you, my mom was a correction officer, and she worked at Clinton Correctional Facility, which was like 3 hours away. She would get up 4 o'clock in the morning every morning to go to work. So I'd be a 12-year-old walking to school in the middle of the hood myself.
Yeah,
every day. So they was like, so eventually she called in. It was like, it's cool, let him walk home. And I went home. But as I went home, crackheads running across the street like, oh, shit is on fire. Mind you, my only thought is, let me get to the corner store and get some chicken wings and make it in the house and lock the fucking door and go watch some TV, and that's it.
That's crazy.
But I remember, like, as I walked home, you literally saw like the smoke all the way from Newark to New York. Like,
I mean, it traveled all over. And you know what's crazy? They shut down the bridges. Yep. And they wouldn't let you get out of the city. That's how my family got out of there.
Well, I knew my mother was in the opposite direction, and my father had nothing to do with it, and everybody else was cool.
Yeah.
I knew nobody that worked in there. I was like, did anybody else in class? And we came back the next day, and he was like, nah, we all good. And I was like, what the fuck? But then they went over it with us, and I was like, oh, okay.
See, I was like a baby. I wasn't that old.
Oh, yeah, next day, we put out the Yu-Gi-Oh cards at recess. But it was, I went to private school, so it was biblical.
Yeah,
so, that was all demons and demonic.
That's crazy.
So, you know what's wild? That's also why my name is Sneak, because I wasn't able to draw Dragon Ball Z, Spider-Man. I would literally have teachers come up to me after I would finish my work before everybody and tear up my work. Like, you can't draw this demonic work, and tear up our Yu-Gi-Oh cards and shit. So I went through Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z, Beyblade, all of that.
Beyblade. That's that's a real throwback.
Yeah, that was me.
I love Beyblade, man. I still have them from when I was a kid. I got like 3 younger siblings. I kind of want to give them my toys, but at the same time, like, you're gonna destroy them. Right. You don't know what I had to get through to get these, you know.
But I was also spoiled as a kid because I was sick because I was diabetic. So I did have family members that did watch over me a little extra. So it was like, all right, he works hard for what he does. He gets good grades in school. Give him what he want.
Exactly.
So when I'd be like, yo, I want that Goku figure. Let me go get some B pluses this week. Yeah, let me go do that. And I'd be like that slick and sneak with it.
Yeah.
To get what I wanted. So yeah, that's where the sneak comes from.
And E-Cloud, where that originate?
Well, I was in a group originally with my homies, like in high school, where the name of the group was Cyrus Cloud, where we based the group off of, it's actually a acidic cloud in the sky that sits lonely, and we all kind of felt like creative individuals who were clouds in the sky, and we would get high. You know, we were young stoners in high school. So yeah, I was Sneaky Cloud originally, and that's why it's still like my Instagram name and everything, and everybody else had a cloud name, but mine was Sneak. And that's where the E-Cloud comes from. And that's also why we have the cloud, the original members have the cloud tattooed on their wrists. And that's sick. The logo that I came up with, and that was mine.
I love that. You know what I like the most about, like you covered in tats, man. Like, how long did it take for you to, like, acquire all that? And, man, does your mom care you're getting tats?
I mean, I grew up also in the Wiz Khalifa era.
Yeah.
And the Lil Wayne era. And yeah, when they first came out, like, those are my heavy influences. And seeing artwork, being able, like, after we just got deep into anime and was like, all right, we need other shit, and I got into girls in high school, and you saw bodies with artwork on it, it was like, ooh, I gotta find that out somehow. I gotta get into that. So around 14, 15, yeah, the minute I turned and Wiz Khalifa dropped Ink My Whole Body, my birthday, I got tattooed. And
I love that song.
I can't lie, the first day of high school, I went to school, I felt good as fuck. I had a short sleeve shirt on, it was cold as fuck outside, but I said, I'm gonna get this off. And after that, I wore long sleeve shirts for like 4 months after that, because I was trying to hide it from my mom, so I didn't know what she would think.
Exactly.
Man, one day I came home from school and I was like, you know what, it's hot as fuck outside. I can't do this. I came in the house with literally one sleeve on my chest. I came inside, I got some water. She came in the kitchen. She was like, hey, came from school. She's like, you got a tattoo? I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, all right, how's school? I was like, cool. I was like, wait, that's your fucking reaction? I've been hiding this for months. You know, I don't give a damn, it's your body. You know, I got him, you got him, just don't go crazy. Yeah, after that, I went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally, like, they'd pop up weekly. And eventually, like, my cousin, who was actually, like, my big brother also, he showed me, like, how to invest in shit low-key online and how to get into credit. And so he bought me a tattoo pack online and some practice skins. And this is when I was living in the basement by myself. My mom's kicked me out after high school. Yeah, I was experimenting on myself. I said, fuck these skins. Me and my homie, he was like, whatever I think of, can you do it? Yeah. Weekly, I'd go over his crib and just eventually people was like, yo, can I schedule something with you? And his parents would leave on the weekends and I'd be like, yo, all right, yeah, come through now and then, just drop the deposit.
Exactly.
I was making bread. So yeah, the tattoos were heavy. So that's where a lot of them
You
came
still do
from.
it?
Oh yeah, from here now and then I have updated shit.
So what's going on? What could you do for
what
me?
You need? I'm good in black and white and outline. What you need?
I'm not looking for anything crazy. Like, I want to get some.
Even the tiny shit, the cute shit, I got you.
That's sick. I don't know. I want to get a death moth. If that's too complex, I got like a little logo. Nah.
Just find me a reference pic and I got you.
Shit, I'll let you tattoo your logo on my leg.
Shit. You'll be the second person. There's actually somebody out there with one.
Really?
Yes.
Listen, it's good vibes, though.
Hey, Jarko shit is for all the people.
Yeah, right?
All the people.
Now that's really impressive. I mean, tattooing's not like an easy thing.
it's a steady of hand. Yeah, it's not something you can just jump into because even now you see nowadays, as common as it is for people to just pick up machines, you see a lot more of them shitty tattoos where it's like, yo, who fire you? Let them grab that gun real quick and let them go crazy because it is some fucked up shit out there.
Yeah, and removing them is not
not easy.
It is painful. You know it's painful. But one thing I love is as soon as you came in my car, what have we got here? Stickers.
Oh yeah, I always.
I'll tell you one thing. This is like also kind of like ASMR. No, I'm playing. But
hey, man,
all your stickers have information. What'd you say on me?
I got a little nasty in me. Shit. I'm a Scorpio.
When's your birthday?
November 19th.
November 19th. I get along with Scorpios.
What are you?
Pisces?
I don't not get along with anybody. Like, it's not anybody I could honestly say that I can't off the back not get along with, unless you do some dumb shit where it's like, all right, just get the fuck away from me and give me some time and I can say hello to you. I mean,
one thing I gotta say is this: any Rutgers party, those Rutgers would be like, "Oh my god, I gotta stay away from you. You're toxic. You're blah blah blah, whatever." It is.
If you brave enough to take your ass to a Rutgers party, baby, brave enough to land whatever the fuck lands in your lap, because there's some wild motherfuckers out there.
Nah, even when I go with my friends, it's like once you have more than 3 girls and they start talking signs, you can't.
That's when you're like, all right, let me go get me a fat sandwich real quick. I'll be right back.
That's great. You wanna roll up?
I got another one already.
Oh man, we only got because that was I got. Anyway,
I had half and half. Shit, so fuck it.
So what brand is this? Maybe we should see if we can get a sponsor.
Yes.
Camo.
That's all I do. Smoke besides papers.
See, the thing about these that bother me is it's very harsh.
These are smooth.
Maybe because I had it towards the end.
I've been smoking these for at least 3 years now.
3 years? Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. You're telling me? Hold on. Are you saying like 3 years straight?
I haven't touched tobacco in like 6 years.
You say
I used to smoke Black and Milds weekly.
Dude.
Like packs to packs.
I was like 13 and I convinced the lady on this corner store. I was like, hey, I had to walk like a fucking 3/4 of a mile away from my house. Like, oh, it's for my dad. My dad smokes these. He told me I should be able to go to the store like when he was a kid and get something for his parents. And I got to know the lady. Dude, I was capping. Like, I was like fucking I was smoking so many freaking Black and Milds.
No, the only reason I got into them was about 5-6 years ago or so. When I was kind of down and out bad trying to get my life back together, I went to a program called Job Corps.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Stressful shit of my life, and the only way I could get through it, I smoked one Black and Mild. I don't know how, but I still to this day will not touch cigarettes, but I was smoking Black and Milds as if they were my best friend. After every class, and I was selling bogeys on the side too, because that was a hustle in Job Corps. Of course. But yes.
What is it like a Job Corps? I have a few friends who did it, but I never
it's a roller coaster. Job Corp is a fucking story, yo. Cause I'm right. I'm making a cartoon eventually off of Draw Code shit with my own character, which you see my logo is me, Sneak, and just telling the story of the craziest shit that I've been through. Yeah, there's gonna be a chapter in there, just Job Corp. That's how fucking wild.
That's a really good idea. I mean, you don't have to go crazy. It could be very primitive animation. You know what I'm saying? It could be like some South Park.
Yeah. It could be some simple shit.
That's you can go crazy if you really wanted to, but then that's the thing where I realized, there's quality and then there's quantity and there's that
a good
weird
balance.
Like the t-shirt I'm rocking now. It took me about 45 minutes to make, right? But it's it took I didn't try to rush it, but I gave myself a time limit. I said, you gotta make, you know what I'm saying?
And that's a good color and position and everything, and balance out.
I went with the navy, with the pink, and I was like, why not go navy? Because it's lighter on the eyes. So
it gives me like Death Row vibes.
Death Row vibes. I appreciate that. I got some inspiration from some stuff I saw on
It's the
Pinterest.
incline of the letters at the top. I love that style.
I like when, I basically did, the cutout, so you have a little bit of distance between the alien and the text, as well on the side over here. I mean, I'm telling you, man, I've been trying to make more TikToks and stuff, but, I don't know, it doesn't feel really natural. I'm trying to find
Yeah. It's like you'll have spurts of time where it's like, all right, yeah, I could bang out 3, 4, 5, 6 here.
Exactly.
And then it's like, damn, how the fuck do you have them posting 10 to 12 a day? And that's what I see them advising you to post, like on TikTok and whatnot. I'm like, I'm damn near 30 years old.
Yeah.
I want to go take a nap, I just got done doing such and such. Let me go smoke. Let me go chill.
Yeah. That's. Are you on Fiverr or anything like that? You marketing yourself?
No Fiverr. Pretty much just I use Etsy to sell all of my memorabilia and prints. I just found out literally yesterday how to do NFTs, so I'm gonna try and do more of those.
I'll buy your fucking NFT, no cap.
Yeah,
You own any?
Link. I'll shoot you the link. I only have one, the one that I just created yesterday. I'm literally new to this. Like,
I'm gonna be on OpenSea, and what do you know?
I use OpenSea.
Good.
Yeah.
Now listen. There's ways you can market your NFTs in an extremely creative way, and I've been trying to think about that as myself. Like, I'll give you an example of what I do, and I would, like, I feel like some people, you like, don't be sharing stuff. Like, I'm telling you, like, I don't care who hears this, because it don't really matter. At the end of the day, it's up to them to use it.
Exactly.
It's up to you to use it, and most people probably won't use it. Well, this is what I'm doing. If you buy my NFT, you get a $100 coupon code, but my NFT is $150. So it's basically like $50, right? For the art, but I want to start like donating money, so I'm trying to think of a way where I could like, because at the end of the day, like, I'm just trying to like, I want my brain to be more like philanthropy than anything, Of course I want to make money, but and I want it to be like I'm doing things for people that may not get it, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay. And I'm trying to think of a way I can do with NFTs, because I don't think this shit's going away. You don't own any crypto, right?
No. When I say I'm old school, I'm old school. Yeah.
For one, NFTs are a good way to get into that. But back to what I was saying is, like, you could put a code for your content that once you purchase it, it unlocks it. And they can get, you know what I'm saying? So that might be a good way for you to work your stuff around. And the key with NFTs, from what I've realized, I could be wrong, but from what I'm reading, you have to do, like, a collection. So you basically do the same I'm sure you've probably been seeing that. That's most likely the best way to
That's being curated right now.
What'd you say?
It's being curated right now. Yeah.
I mean, you got tons of characters too. Are you gonna like lifting or working out or anything like that?
No, not really.
Nah.
I work out in my own personal time to stay limber.
Yeah.
I ain't no stiff stick.
Here.
They're not that heavy.
I remember last time we spoke, we were chatting. You were saying like maybe like move to Vermont or something. Like, what was the inspiration for, like, not want to live here? Which I can understand to a certain extent,
I could always live in Jersey, like, find a place, but I plan to do big things and be wealthy enough to live somewhere else besides Jersey as well. So I'll still have land or such in Jersey.
Of course.
But, yeah, that's why I said Vermont, like, I got to get out of here so that when I do, I have a getaway. I have somewhere else to actually live and say that I'm comfortable. Because it can't just be Jersey forever.
Yeah.
You can't stay in your hometown.
No, you're right.
You cannot make it.
Yeah, do something you've never done. Get something you never had. Now, for anyone who, of course, we don't have a visual portion of this quite yet. But for anyone who's not able to be here, maybe you can manifest it, astral project, and come here to this very moment. But Dean is currently doing a really interesting illustration as we're speaking here. Would you like to describe it?
I mean, it's a woman with a pirate patch and wrapped in a tiger musk with its tongue wrapping around her face, slowly dripping with tiger hairs flowing beneath it. And it's kind of a head bust altogether. I was planning on making it a sticker. It's kind of like she's encaped in darkness within the tiger's head.
You know what?
Didn't even see all of that until I explained it, did you?
Yeah, basically. I'm looking at I'm like
neck right there and her eye with the pirate patch.
I thought it was like a tiger that's like a snake. For some reason.
See, once I pop all of that color in there,
it's gonna look crazy.
Go crazy, yeah.
Is there certain color palettes that you prefer to work in?
I mean, I have mine here on Procreate of the colors that I usually do use. and I know how to switch between them to get what I do want, so I'm pretty quick with it. So within this, I know there would be a lot of oranges, yellows, browns. For that creepy but dope effect, for that 90s effect, I'd get that neon green or that turquoise green right there. And I go in between lighter and darker shades and this purple with the shade of the purple faded into it for that Phoenix Suns kind of effect, because I love their throwback jerseys.
Yeah.
With the Suns. Yeah.
I tried making a logo like that just to get the same kind of inspiration.
So, yeah, that's a lot of my color palette.
But it's so cool how you choose the colors, you know? It's like there's a reason for it.
My iPad is about to die, but like, see, I did this one recent. Well, actually, let me show you this one that I did personally that nobody else has really seen.
Whoa. This really is something.
And
it's a lot to I feel like I can't really explain it. It's one of those things where if you see it, you see Dean, you know what I'm saying? Wow.
It's that wow that I work for.
I can't. This is like, how long would something like this take you to come up with the full concept?
That took me about 3 hours. I've had this concept in my head for about 4 years, because I went back in my books, because my iPad's actually about to die. Whenever I get an idea, I carry these books around with me. My iPad's on like 2%, but whenever I get an idea, I carry these books around with me, which are my idea books. And I literally will sketch out something within 2 seconds. And I carry that idea whether I need to bang out a logo for someone who asks for a commission or anything. Or I need to do something the next day. I get it jotted down right there in that book. I think I got it with me. I thought I had it with me.
What, are you looking for, charger?
No, I thought I had my book.
Oh.
I'll go grab it real quick. What? It's kind of important. What? I jot everything down in it, so as I do that, you'll literally see from my time-lapse videos, that's how I start all of my pieces. I sketch it out, I get the vision out, at least hard copy and the sketchbook. So literally it's come to the point where I started with this concept, like I'm trying to get out a drawing a day to see how much I can do. So yeah, now I have a whole encyclopedia where to the point I'm banging out 2-3 books every 3-4 months. So, yeah.
I'm trying to do the same thing with t-shirts. That's like, I've been...
Just flow everything out.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, because, you know, I'm in a really good position, so I gotta try to take advantage of it as much as I can.
Because I constantly see, like, these memes and stuff like, yo, if you got content, drop it. Or you hear these influencers, if you got content, drop it. So it's like, fuck it.
Exactly.
In high school, when I was getting into graffiti, freshman, I saw the upperclassmen were into it as well. One kid comes to me like, yo, so you got dope style, and this is when I find out what black books are.
My dad loves graffiti. Always the black book with him.
So I started a black book. He's like, yo, let me a second.
Listen, don't rush. Dude, this is such a good interview so far. I'm gonna have to clip some parts out.
He was like,
but this is fire.
Yo, let's make a trade. I was like, all right. Let's make a trade. So he gave me his book. I gave him my book. And I must have took what? A day. Brought his book right back. Like, yeah, I'm done. I did like 3 pieces in here. Let me know when you're done with mine. And he was like, yeah, give me like another day. I come back to school like 2 days later, and I'm looking for him. I cannot find him. Huh?
Okay.
I can't find him.
Yeah, exactly.
I go to my art class at like 4th period. I'm walking in the hallway. I see shards of paper everywhere. I'm like, the fuck is this? I go to my classroom, and right before the door, I see the binding of my black book bent out, and there's pieces of all of my artwork all down the hallway. You just see the janitor sweeping up all the pieces all the way from down the hallway. And I remember one janitor saying, pick your head up, kid. When your head is down, people think you're low. And I must have looked up with the most evil look on my face, like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't say anything.
No, but
But at that moment, I thought to myself, I could either be very angry, very, very angry, or I could let this push me further. And I did just that. And I went home and I told my mother, and she made a whole hoorah, and we went to school.
Of course.
And she spoke to the principal and everything. Was like, can you do anything? It was like, no, unfortunately, because we don't have any record of this. Blah blah blah. The cameras didn't catch it. And
it's private school.
My mother was like, do you want to do anything? Honestly, I was just sitting in there in depression, just listening to everything. Like, no, it is what it is. Went home. I was like, all right, Ma, take me to Michael's. I made some change today. I didn't buy lunch. I sold some artwork in class. Let me go to Michael's. I went and got a new book. I went ham on like the first 10 pages. And everything that I could remember from that last book, I jotted down to my best, and I did 2 times better. Seeing them motherfuckers the next couple of days, looked at me sideways, giggling and whatnot. Then come to find out one of them got shot at a party the week next, and the rest of them got expelled and shit.
Well, you know what? That's just how life is, man. It doesn't matter how bad someone hurts you. You can't do something evil back.
Nonetheless, I thought to myself, I could either sit here in much anger, or I could pour my pain into these markers and jot down what I can remember and try and do my best. Because that's actually what started me. Around 2nd grade, every experience I could think back on as an artist, majorly on my step-ups and moments as an artist, were me being told that I can't do it.
Yeah.
My very first experience I remember.
I mean, clearly you do it better, right?
Dang.
Like
was 5 when I was diagnosed with diabetes and sitting in the hospital in the room at St. Barnabas. Yeah, that's where I was actually born. Where sitting in the room, there's no TV or nothing in those days. So, the nurse came in with a pen and pad and was like, "Have fun with some Jello." So I'm a diabetic kid, just like mom is in the other room crying because the doctor just told her I got diabetes. I give no fucks. I got Jello in a pad, and I'm just
exactly.
That's where it all started.
Can you break it? I suck at breaking them.
I ain't got no nails, man. I ain't crack one of these.
You got a knife on you? Oh, I'm good. Actually, I got a little. See, that's crazy.
But
now
after that, it was 2nd grade, where shout out to my OG best friend Andre Jones, entering Vailsburg Christian Academy in Newark. That Christian school for the first time. I was a fresh kid. All the rest of the class had been together. So me sitting alone, doodling, which is a little Spider-Man, I had a kid come up to me and literally bang my head into the table and take my drawing and rip it up. Najee Jones. That was the kid's name. Then Andre came up, took his head, banged it into the table, and kicked his ass to the side and said, leave him the fuck alone from now on. Yeah, so we were best friends from that day. And literally from that day on, every day in class, me in the back of class and then draw Dragon Ball Z, Spider-Man. We would literally jot down everything that we could see. So when I couldn't make it to the comic book store one week, or he couldn't make it to the copier to make some money for the cash that week that we would split, I would make it that week. So literally that was like a hustle. And then he was my best friend where I would go over his crib on weekends.
Are you still cool with him?
Yeah. To this day, he just moved out to Georgia. Shout out to Dre, like I said, on what, his 4th child? Yeah, he out there being fruitful. He got one wifey though, so shout out to wifey.
That's respect though. Nowadays, having like a long relationship, that's respect, man. It's tough right here.
Facts. Cause I can't get one to go rape my goddamn self.
You know what I realized it is? You gotta be goal oriented in growth with that person. With that other person.
I gotta just let it naturally roll off, cause
exactly.
Yeah, my attempts have not gone too well.
What would you say it is?
What do you mean?
If you were gonna say,
What would I say is wrong?
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
you think it's your taste?
I'm something too different. I'm just. I know a lot of guys go approach women and be like, "Yeah, baby, I'm actually something not. I'm different, but like not like no creepy shit, no nothing. I understand women because I literally was raised of nothing but women. Like,
exactly.
And I was a perspective kid, which has made me so amazing at this art. because I like to perceive something and take it in with knowledge first before reacting. Not just talk on shit. I've never been one to just talk on shit.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? You know what I realize? You treat a woman like you treat a person. You treat her like you treat a man.
And women are works of art.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's very simple. It's like you treat her like a fucking person because that's what they are. You know, like so it's like this stupid shit like that's what pisses me off.
But to find one to on the same wavelength as my brain length, yes, kind of hard.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm happy. Like I've been with my girlfriend for I guess since high school, so like. We're really on the same page, so you know it's.
I like that pic the other day. Congratulations.
I appreciate that. But yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, and the thing is, it's like, it's not looking good for population growth. You know what I'm saying? The way it's like, not like it's tough with inflation and stuff like that. And I'm just saying, like, it's not a good climate in general for people like. The pandemic, there's social anxiety.
There's too much going on.
And it's like, if you think about it, like, if you're with someone, you're probably still going to be with them because you're navigating something new together, you know?
Yeah.
It's a new world in a weird way. They're going to push for digital shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. A lot more digital.
The question is,
though, ordering food from restaurants, like, everything is digital.
I don't like that. It's, like, scary, dude.
Cars driving themselves soon enough.
They already kind of are, but at the same time, it's like, just, again, there's very few jobs. Like, this whole Ethereum thing, like, dude, it's going to be worth a lot of money. It's like, just the technology. Ethereum's going to put a lot of people out of business. Because it basically can run certain chains. And, I can go into it all day.
But you know what bottom line is? We got to, keeping track of money and being stable is important, which is a hard thing to do.
I think it's the hardest thing to do.
We gotta think about the world itself and how we're destroying it.
Constantly.
Because from clothing alone, why do we constantly need to manufacture clothing when we're all set and stable and have homeless out there with nothing? Or some people who never come across shit like, why do we need it? I understand to a T, like, I have an addiction to sneakers. I have at least 50 pair in my closet right now. That's from the artistry of the sneaker and how it's created. And just
you're not wearing them.
Fascination. I mean, I change up. I have enough pair to change up with it. And within every week, I'm still that one that has my Nike slides.
Of course.
Or my Adidas slides, or my Crocs.
You seem like the kind of person, and I'm going to be honest, who has this really expensive pair of shoes and only wears them around the house. You never wear them at the house. I know people like that. Well, I'm only wearing them in the house. But I gotta keep the soles clean.
I'm such an introvert to the point where it's like, all right, I gotta set myself up to go places in which I'm naturally fly. It's not even me bragging. I just, because I'm bummy fly. I just know how to be comfortable in what I wear. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm fly everywhere I go, but I have to plan to go places because there'll be times when friends will be like, "Oh, you trying to come to this party?" It's like, damn well I'm going to get to that party, and I'm going to get to the door. The first thing going to ask me, yo, who's this 14-year-old? And then I got to tell somebody to suck my whole dick. Yeah. Then we in the party, and I'm snuffing the motherfucker. Because, yes, I'm only 5'6", but I still got to put my size 8.5 foot up somebody's ass. If you disrespect me, we got to get gully. I've been in a few brawls. Nonetheless, I don't like to fight. I'm a lover, but I will whoop some ass if I got to. Nonetheless,
my man.
That's how I was raised. That's how I'm gonna go down. Nonetheless.
Nah, man, definitely. I mean, you know what I think is extremely interesting about most people? There's introverted extroverts, which means you're good with people, but at the end of the day, you'd rather be by yourself.
I'm great with people, yeah. But if I could find me one piece of booty to sit up in my luxury penthouse somewhere in Vermont with the snowy windfalls and me and some crab legs and some butter on a Saturday night with some Courage the Cowardly Dog playing in the dim lights and we get a little Barry White in the back, let's get it. That's all I need. I don't need to go out for the whole month or so. We good.
That's hilarious. Why crabs? Vermont has crabs?
I love crab legs, and I hear they got a good source of crab legs out there. But nonetheless,
Crab
I
legs
just
are
love
fire.
crab legs. Yeah.
See, now that I'm an adult, I really like seafood.
As a kid, like I said, be it when I was diagnosed a diabetic, I was introduced to crab legs because they have no carbs in them and no sugar. So my aunt would show me how to eat them on the weekends. Go pick them up from Pathmark in Irvington and go get them steamed with the Old Bay on the side. Yeah, she'd be like, this is how you crack them. And I can't lie, I praise the Lord to this day, because that's why I motherfucking know how to eat coochie so goddamn well, because I knew how to get my tongue up in them clusters. And I still do. I don't need no click-clacks to crack open no claws. No, we got hands and teeth right here. I breaks it down.
my family, they love seafood. We have like, I guess every year we have like a crab fest. Dude, insane.
Oddly enough,
you like mussels?
Oddly enough, somewhere within my childhood, I figured out that I was allergic to seafood. So I can only eat crab legs. I guess I built an immunity because I get a reaction from shrimp, scallop, salmon, any fish. Lobsters, slightly. I get a reaction, but not as much. But yeah, I can't eat any of those anymore. It hit around 12. I remember the night because it was Halloween night. I was watching Halloween Town. That's when they would show the movies at 8 o'clock every night. And that's when the lights would come on in the hood and my mama would have me in and dinner would be ready. And she made salmon with green beans.
Oh, God.
And I sat right in front of the TV, and right after the movie went off, Kill Bill came on HBO on one of them fake-ass cable boxes where you could switch over from the last movie. Yeah, I was eating, and I remember my throat closed up. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was the salmon. And my mother was like, don't eat no more. I was like, I wasn't planning on it. What the fuck is this? I just remember itching and breaking out all night, so yeah.
You get hives?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I have a lot of weird allergies, too. So I'm an Eagle Scout. And when I was a Boy Scout, man, I used to be so allergic to like the woods. If I didn't take allergy medicine, I'd wake up, bro, my face would be all puffed up. I wouldn't really open my eyes.
You know what's wild enough? Somewhere within my childhood, my mama dropped me off at diabetic camp in the middle of the fucking woods.
Wait, diabetic camp?
In Stillwater, New Jersey. It's called Camp Najeta. And eventually, you know, sad to say, it became my second home. Like, I fell in love with those people, and I even got like some of my first jobs there. And deep enough, once I got like my culinary certificate and I became a chef on the side from going to Job Corps.
Wow.
Yes, that's what I completed Job Corps with. All of my certificates and shit. I came out, man. With that completion check that they said they was going to give me, yeah, I got my $1,200.
Nice.
And my certificates, and I became a chef, and I went and I worked at the camp. I ran the kitchen in the camp, and I
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I worked with the kids, and I love working with kids.
Dude, it's...
From being a counselor to the crazy stories I have to being a cook, yeah.
See, you know what I think, like, for someone to be successful, they have to learn how to climb, like, a small organization, such as a camp, right? I climbed, I guess, 2 organizations, 3 maybe. Mm-hmm. I was in Boy Scout. I was the highest rank in Boy Scouting. I've achieved the highest award of Boy Scout, was an Eagle Scout. And before that, I was in short, I have, like, attention deficit disorder. Mm-hmm. So I had an IEP in school. And when you have an IEP, they put you in the slower classes.
They put me in those too.
Yeah, I was about to say.
They would pull you out in the middle of class.
Yeah,
like,
come with me.
I'd be like, hey, at least we get stickers and snacks.
That's how but low key.
I gave no fuck.
You just be like, I don't get the answer. You point to the thing. Mm-hmm. You know, the funniest thing is, I got to, like, a slow camp for, like, most, right?
See, it makes me notice now that I was a selective kid. I have OCD, I believe. I'm trying to go get like tested. That. But I do believe it because I do it within the art. But, like, it'd be times it'd be like, yeah, I know this answer, but I don't feel like going with it. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this right now. Yeah. And then those slow classes, you'd be like, is this 5 times 5? Like, if we don't get this simple shit the fuck out of here, come on, cuz.
I think it's cool because, like, when you're someone, you know, not cool, but when you're someone who, like, isn't as far behind, mm-hmm. it's like a weird dynamic where you almost, like, kind of, like, lead the class in a weird way. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm not like them. Like, you know what I mean? Not mm-hmm. that, I don't have to deal with maybe their same issues. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes you feel like, oh, I'm different, right? And then you go to regular and you're like, oh, I'm different. You know what I mean?
Even
like,
to this day, I'm an open kid where I don't give a fuck if you 6 foot tall or you 2 foot short. if somebody, if we out in public, start doing some shit to you and I see that your story is going wrong, yeah, I'm going to stand up for you. I'm going to say something. I don't give a fuck.
I'm the same way.
I got to put some bass in my voice. Fuck it. I'll be a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
Fuck you got.
Let him know. But I started off at the campus and like not all the kids had issues. A lot of the kids, they were like it was like a really close community. Just parents who sent their kids. So it was like some kids who were slow, some kids who ended up becoming counselors, and you got free transportation. So I went all the way up. I was the youngest counselor, right? And it's like a small camp. And then I ended up being a lifeguard and I was on staff. I ended up being like one of the highest paid people there.
Hey.
I know it was
never quite got to that point, but. Hey, I reached pretty high up on the ladder to the point where I was, main staff. So I was just glad I got acknowledged and sat at the table and drank my coffee.
Exactly.
And leave when I needed to.
but the one thing is, man, like you really impact those kids. Like they really know when someone cares.
Yo,
I was just on the phone with one of my campers, old campers, and I'm gonna make
one of the kids that used to be my campers that became a counselor somewhere within time became my best friend. Who is my background right now to this very day, and his is the very same background. Come on, show less. Hello, notifications. Go away, people. How do you clear all this?
You
out?
get the clear from the bottom.
Clear.
And then I think you could just swipe up.
Clear.
Damn, that shit was so
Clear.
annoying. Let's think about these phones. Oh, yeah, actually, I'm gonna cut it off and start it again.
I started. Because I finished the last one mid-January. So, of course, I got to put my own shit on there.
I love the patch. You didn't make this at work, right?
Nope. I actually ordered those off a site, testing out patches. So now I have patches to put on my clothing. Yeah, there's always going to be stickers at the start that are going to fall out. So be careful.
Dang, you got the really small stickers.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
actually a sticker for.
I mean, I really like your dedication. What do you think at the end of the day? Like, wow, this is really cool. Like, you know what's I can really get like the artwork for Kanye West graduation, how the bear is. It's I almost get like, Takashi. When you look at the way Takashi Murakami does like the big eyes and the way like it's very like there's certain like I wouldn't say overall, but like there are certain things that I see that it's like again to like that to almost pay homage like Japan and like their streetwear culture. I mean, like I really think that you should definitely like I don't know what kind of t-shirts you sell or if you sell any, but I think that should be your main thing, dude.
I mean, I do have to get deeper into the drawing more animation because I do get love for a lot of the pieces that I do. And keeping up with it is hard enough.
You don't have HBO Max, right?
Yes, I do.
Did you see the thing with Offset? I forget what it was called. It was like the fashion thing.
Yeah, I actually follow Blue Boy, which is why I watched the series.
You know what?
Because years ago, I have a young artist. I got you. I have a young artist who actually went to high school with him. He was like, yo, y'all styles is so crazy. And I believe he's actually going to blow up. So I did hit him up before he blew up. But I know I do follow his work because I do admire his work and do see everything that he did like on that show, which was crazy.
I love that show.
Yeah.
I think Justin was cool. I forget what the other guy's name is.
Yeah, the Japanese guy.
Yeah, he was. I think he was Vietnamese. He was either way. He was cool. It was interesting to see he was kind of out of his element. Yeah. As part of it, which would I like to see. I want to see
them, but I think they did make the right pick in the end.
I mean, that one guy who came in the second day with like he was cool, but he had a vibe, but I didn't really like his stuff personally. Like I wouldn't rock that.
Well, it was a few of them that was nitpicky with a lot of the styles that I was like, I'd never wear that, but that's what people go for now. So
exactly. Well, that's the thing. I think it was important they had the other people on it as well.
That's another one of my flaws, but upbringers, I'm not picky. If I fuck with it, I fuck with it. If I don't, I don't.
One thing I would like to say is that you probably draw with your shoulder a lot. I feel like the way...
Yeah, because I'm light-handed. Even with tattooing, I have to go over everything at least 2 to 3 times.
This would be a really cool tattoo.
See, you're seeing stuff that nobody's seen because I've done that within the past 2 months. And I honestly don't do too much with my life besides go to work and draw.
I'd pay to get this. You let me know.
You can certify that.
I'm serious. Let me know what.
I got you. I'll make that a go-to this week. I'll finalize it and everything.
Sounds good. I mean, and I feel like my problem is, like, late in my life, like, right now, like, after meeting you, I'm like, I need to start sketching. So I've been doing, like, rough sketches and stuff, but it's like a weird barrier because I'm so used to drawing anime. Like, I could draw an anime head, like, perfectly, like.
It's that sculpt of the draw. It's easy. Mm-hmm.
And then everything else, it's like, I don't know how to make my mind, I don't know how to get everything out of the box. It's, like, weird because I'm like.
It's as an artist, I understand it's a check off the list that you get good at, and it's like, okay, how do I go beyond this? Damn, I gotta think myself, like, when did I check out of that like, it hit around, like I said, with the tattoos. Well, even around that time, I got more into graffiti, and then, with the graffiti, and then even with that, I went back to cartoons, because that's around when Adventure Time dropped and everything. Yeah. And Flapjack and Chowder. That's why those are some of my favorites.
Those are, like, life-changing, too.
I have them tattooed all over my body. And, yes, a lot of those, so.
But it's life-changing for an artist. It makes some kids really dumb.
You know what really hit? Getting out of it was, honestly, that point of adulthood when you started to understand the woman's body. And then I started practicing, because with the anime and everything, you get good with the man's build, and you go, wait, I really can't draw like a woman's figure at all. So that's when I really started focusing, like, yo, I am an individual who knows how to love my women, and I love my women. So with me mixing that thought or just point in life and my artistry and taking the time to put it into my artistry, that's what checked me off beyond into, like, okay, now I'm good with women. Then I went back to, like, yo, I was good with drawing, like, Gohan, Super Saiyan, and, like, 2 the first. Yeah, let me go back into that. So once I started blending everything together and going, I can finalize a style now, and I know what I like to do. Let's go for it. So that's when me finally putting down the time and just going, fuck it. You know what? I can't fight the fact that I'm good at this. It literally flows at this point. So where I will wake up 4, 5, 6 in the morning in bed, and that book will be no farther than 5 feet from me, and I'll grab the pencil from off the edge and say, yo, I got an idea. Yo, that bitch did have a fat ass in that show. Yo, let me get that angle right there. Pause. HBO Max. Let me get that ass. Yeah, that's how my brain works at this point. Like, whenever I get inspired, boom, I get it out just like that.
Did you get a chance to check the YouTube video I sent you about the artist?
Nah.
When you have a chance,
I seen the one that for when you wanted to meet me, but I didn't get nothing beyond that. Send it to me again, huh?
It's alright, but you should watch it, because when he describes how he draws, he closes his eyes and he imagines it in his mind, and he picks the best angle to draw it from.
You see me,
and it's almost like I was like, you draw like you guys have a lot in common. In that, I was like, this is Dean.
But me, I don't gotta close my eyes. I kind of just, like, I explained it.
I'm just saying in theory, you know.
Like, even that I learned recently, like, a lot of people don't have that inner monologue that tells them, like the good and bad angel on their shoulder. Yeah, that motherfucker drives me crazy in my head. But the way that we work together at this point, to where my sanity just flows into the art, it's nothing to me at this point.
And for you, is it graffiti or typography? Because it's the same thing, essentially. But is it like, the graffiti?
No, but there's a difference, because I've met a lot of graffiti artists who are beautiful at typography. But, drawing a simple Finn from Adventure Time, trying to get the angle on his head, it ain't happening. Not at all. You'd think a 2-year-old was drunk on a Saturday night.
Have you ever had an experience with psychedelics?
Yes, most of them, except for shrooms. My favorite is acid, which I've recently learned is actually stronger than shrooms. So
it cooks you.
I've been doing acid for the past couple of years as if it's like my best friend. When I get my mindset right, Yeah, after the first time I tripped, and my best friend had got me 2 tabs, and he was like, "Wait for me over the week, but just hold them for me." Yeah, nah.
Hold them.
He was like, "Just make sure you stay hydrated, because they can make you dehydrated." I went to the store. I got me a gallon of water. I closed the door. I put my headphones on. I had everything set. I was like, "All right, I'm not coming out of my room for the night." Yeah, I tripped. I tripped like crazy. I listened to Jimi Hendrix. He spoke to me through my soul. My third eye opened a little bit, and I like my body and conscience, literally, like, from the shit that I experienced myself throughout that night, opened me up, and I even got into art through it. And I'll show you those pieces the next time, like, cause like I said, I have a lot of books.
Yeah.
So you'll see those throughout times, but. Yeah, that was just a new experience for me that I really did love, and now I have a good, little vacation of every 5 to 6 months.
I feel like this is one of those things where it's like, I don't have to take the drugs. These are the drugs.
Yeah, now, like, I could be sober as a rock, and it's just, it is now just, like I said, just the whistle of the wind to come to me.
You know what it is? I mean, I don't know if we discussed this, but I make music, and I freestyle like every day with my friends, or I try to freestyle at least once a day.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at this, it's like it's the same thing like a freestyle. Like, I don't gotta think the words. Like, the song tells me what to say.
When it's
like the pencil tells you what, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's actually a big influence to me, which I really respect of music artists, because as I listen to music, that helps me flow with the pen.
Exodius. Right?
See, nobody's seen that piece because I didn't finish the video for the guy. But before my iPad does completely die,
dude,
I'll show it to you. He did draw this in your style, which was the Exodia and the Madara. So I drew them in my style, and that's exactly how I said. As he said that, I literally grabbed my pencil and pen and said, "All right, say less. I got you."
I like how Exodius was important for like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off.
But then as you catch the cards as a kid, you're like, what the fuck is this? What the hell did I put?
I always had the head, but I never could get the legs. I got the one arm. Yo, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! Elemental Heroes, dude, I got a whole book of them.
Mm-hmm. That's around where I dropped off from them, around Elemental Heroes.
Well, you're about... Oh, what?
So from that, and a quick 5-minute thought, to this.
This is really... I can't... The thing that I try to do, and I like this...
That's how deep we get.
Like, it's like the colors are just perfect. And this is a gradient, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you ever, like you only know if you know. It's like... You do the hard shadows, and you also add the gradient as well, which is like why your stuff really stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like a mix of both, and it's like the perfect amount of both. Like, and I feel like this is, I mean, I would pay for a poster of this if you did the black parts in felt.
And that's what I try and tell people when they come to me for business, for a commission. It's like, yo, just let me know. I'll get personal.
What would you charge someone? Just
my prices start at $200 for commissions. For logos alone, $200.
I mean, I think that, in my opinion,
for a family portrait, for about
something like this.
For a family portrait of about 20 by 30, that's $250.
I mean,
for 2 characters minimum, starting at $250 with detail, depending on how much. Like, I'm gonna ask you, what's y'all favorite love song? Where did y'all fall in love at? What did y'all go through? What sayings do y'all have? And I will put that in all of the art, because that's part of my artistry. I'm telling a story as I draw these pieces.
I think what I'm gonna do is, if you should send me some of these, so I'll play it actually throughout the podcast. Mm-hmm. So because it's only gonna be audio, so I'll do a little visual portion, and what I'll do is I'll clip this out, but I could break it down for you. We can make some content.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Like, even like, since they can't see over here, I have a personal sneaker project with somebody who found a manufacturer across seas who has the toe structure for Air Jordan 1. So he's like, anything besides that, just like the cool cars, you can do. Whatever
like
you want.
Yes.
He was like, the box, everything, you do it. You'll see in that book, if you look carefully, I said, say less. For about 8 to 9 of those pages, I went crazy with designs. He said, what do you want to do? for the concept, I said, okay, we could do our favorite albums. He was like, well, my favorite album is the College Dropout, since I nearly was and I just graduated from college.
Oh, congrats.
And I was like, that's funny. Mine is the 808s.
Oh, no.
808s and Heartbreaks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I was like, well, I'm a college dropout, so, 808s and Heartbreaks, I know you've been through some shit, and his brand is actually called Global Heartbreak. So there you'll see little teddy bears and everything. So the first one we're doing is the College Dropout, like I said. And when he said I could do the box, I was like, nah, that's my favorite part. I've always wanted to play with a box. Yeah, I'll do the sneaker, but I need that box. That's the structure for the sneaker.
Wow.
As he's seeing the sketch right now.
And you're going to do the tread like that too?
This is the 808s
Are you going to adjust the tread?
Yes, he's looking for the manufacturer to do the tread as I want as well.
The soles will be different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's probably... Where do you know what country you're sourcing it from, if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to disclose it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not your part of the business. Yeah. That's amazing. I like how you're doing the bear small.
We found a embroiderer to also do with the sneaker. To embroider on the back of the sneaker.
But what's good is it's like low key. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to be...
Gotta get the detail.
Wow. That's...
Down to the toe tag. In each color.
That's sick.
That's the box. That's one of the boxes. That was the bottoms.
Wow.
The sea foam. The logos. Yes.
I feel like I'm like... Whenever, like, I feel very honored that you're showing me this stuff. I really appreciate it.
I mean, it's gonna get seen to the world eventually.
Exactly.
Somebody important my associate. You're important, my dude.
I appreciate
That's the
that.
inner souls that I wanted for the 808s.
And it's probably all gonna be like dye sub too, because it's gonna be synthetic, mostly synthetic stuff. You know what I like, man. It really I feel like a fire in me right now. I feel like I'm like.
And I do love when I can say that I inspire. Like, it always hits me like, yo, I inspire
you really do. You inspire me, man. And it's cool because what they say, when you're trying to do something that's great or something that's different, you got to be around people who are a little bit lower on the totem pole than you. Mm-hmm. You got to be around people who are a little bit higher on the totem pole than you.
And it's funny because I've always been one who's been able to speak out, but I've always chosen my moments because I was the bullied kid. I was the quiet kid.
Yeah.
But eventually I had that point in my life where it was like, ooh, I can't speak the fuck up and get away with shit. And, it gets my point across. So I started doing it. And I could also spread wisdom to other people from shit that I've seen. Because I do see a lot of dumbass shit. And one of my sayings that I always say to people is common sense is no longer common.
No.
Like, it really isn't. So sometimes it's just helping people just needs to come natural, and that's what it does at this point. That's who I am.
There's no other way to say it, man. There's no other way to say it.
Shit.
So, how do you feel about the state of, the clothing industry right now? As someone who works in it and is probably dealing with supply chains.
Low key, it's fucking crazy because everybody... and their mother, from quarantine to being locked in the house and finding out what LLCs and finding out their own corporations and trademarks can do, it's crazy. Because everybody and their grandmother thinks that they could buy some sweaters from across seas and start something.
Yep.
And now there's nothing. And you think that it's because of everything that's going on. It's like, no. You thought we was going to come to the point where we was going to run out of shit. Well, here we are. Where thrifting is the biggest thing because we're damn near out of everything. You can't order sweaters, t-shirts, socks, skirts, anything, cotton, anything.
And cotton, the price is up, bro. I paid 30% more for something with 80% cotton. And I'm like, why?
That's exactly why.
That's what I'm saying. And 30% is a lot for and the thing is I can go to Primark and get it for $7, but at the same time, sourcing garments is important to me, and it's probably important to you too.
Yes, it is.
I mean, listen, customers it's important to them, but they don't always get what the hell they want.
It's quality, and right now it's just it's in shitty control. So what you can get is in shitty quality. So you have to be really careful. But when you do come across certain brands like your own who take the time to actually design their brands and actually think into their things and have a story and not just, I'm bored, maybe I can do this, and just drop it one day to take away chances for others.
Yeah.
That's kind of what kills me. But I try not to kill the thread for, if you have creativity, then thrive.
I agree. I don't gotta agree with you. I don't gotta like
but,
you.
Like,
but
yeah.
But, like, at the same time, that's their, like...
Because I tell you what, I call out a shitty artist when you a grown-ass man and you look like you just found out Goku's jawline and you didn't get halfway through that step in which you learned anime. Yeah, I'm finna go, I'm good. You can keep that.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's so funny. The part of me, I'm a little masochistic, and I know you are too, because everybody wants to do this. But it's like good.
Now, but yeah, because I
wish you the best of luck.
Because I started out like, nigga, you going to hell, first of all, if you do any of this, if you show it to the world. And
yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
It was in my family, it was in my home life, so it's like, I just want to keep going. Just let me keep going. And I never stopped, even when I tried. Even with the little heartbreaks and all of that, it just fueled it further.
Exactly.
And told me I could do more than I think I can. Now it's my superpower. Like, it come natural. Mama needs something. I did her logos and advertisement, and now she's about to get her truck wrapped in.
That's awesome.
And the logo and everything, because I did it on Procreate within 10 to 12 minutes sitting in front of her.
That's great. It all comes full circle, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one, man. I mean, are you like religious, agnostic, or anything like that? Are you just like, it is what it is?
At this point, it is what it is. Because with knowledge has taught me over time, I'm an open book because I've learned so much and I'm still learning so much. So I was raised a Christian kid, but I've learned so much of that was a lot of lies and so much was left out. And I've learned so much more since then. So yeah, at this point, it's like, praise the Lord, but at the same time, no, I'm not finna go to church where y'all are driving me out of $30.
Yeah, facts.
For the pastor to go get him some pancakes and get his fresh Louis suit rubbed down, and I'm eating ramen soup this week. Yeah, suck my dick the whole type way.
You on your own.
Yeah. So I'm there with it. It is what it is. You going to hell because you got markers on your body. Or you not going to hell for fucking your wife's sister?
Yeah.
And the neighbor's sister too? Huh? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
It's funny, in my town, the priest just got removed. This man was so bad. He was having this is kind of funny. I forget what confession. He was having a confession in the parking lot. And you could see who was confessing. It's like, and the whole town could see. I was like, dude, that's just hard. During COVID, I'm like, that's horrible. I laughed really hard though. I was like, that's gotta be on like a touch point up thing.
I remember one time I went to Catholic school. It was St. Leo's in Irvington. I believe that was Irvington. Yeah, it was on Myrtle Ave.
Well, that's
Irvington.
up north.
And I went there for like a month. But the month that I went there and I did the confessional with the priest, and he was like, "Do you have anything to tell?" I was like, I don't feel too good. My blood sugar low. I got poop. I'm diabetic. So when my blood sugar goes low, I get really hungry. I get sluggish as fuck, and I give no fucks at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I don't feel too good. I got poop. He's like, get out. Get out. And like a week later, like with me going back and forth to the nurse because they didn't know how to help me with controlling my diabetes and testing and everything. And my mother was like, fuck this, we getting you out of here, and I ain't paying for them to practically kill you and keep calling me to come and pick you up from hours away. Yeah, nah, fuck that. So yeah.
When did you start going to public school?
When I moved out here, actually. That was 8th grade.
8th grade?
Yep. At Franklin Middle School.
You never lived in New York or anything like that?
Nope.
Nah, I always Jersey.
Newark. Yep, straight from Newark to here.
Well, you know what's weird? Like, New York and New Jersey, at some points, it's homogenous. You can't tell where the hell you are. You just be like, I know I'm here.
Once you get to Jersey City, it's just a little bit more buck wild, but it's ain't no difference from Newark, Irvington, East Orange, the rest of them shit.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at like how densely populated Staten Island is and how densely
They
populated
all got a
Grand
little
Boy
ghetto or town trashes somewhere.
See, where I'm from, it's it's white trash.
Yeah, it's always a little bit somewhere. Either or.
No offense to anyone in my town. I'm not naming anyone particularly. Ain't you know?
Please, people is people. They gonna be who they be. I love who I love, wherever you from.
Exactly.
I just know who gonna run down on me on my pockets, and I know where not to go with my certain phones and such. Yeah, with certain colors and such. Yeah, I knew where to avoid that. So,
is there something that like you think would be holding you back in your way of moving forward? Because you know every artist has a little self-destructive.
Man,
honestly,
I
you
think
got
it's,
something in your head. Let me just get that off for you, homie.
I think it's my own mental, and it's just something that blocks. Like, I know I have the gift, and I'm trying to put it out there to the world, but it's just not reaching out there yet. And I do hope to God that it does reach out there eventually, which I know it will. So I've done enough at this point to do the work of 10 men.
Yeah.
Physically and digitally and mentally. So, I mean, but it's just trying to get my flowers while I'm still alive.
Dean, if you were a stock, I'd go heavy in your dog. Listen, I'm telling you,
to be ready
if
for
I was
it.
gonna bet,
I tell you to be ready for it, because Draw Cool Shit is gonna take over the world. Because I do have even partners and people that have helped me and I've invested in and have invested in me that I know are gonna do big things. So if it's not me, it's gonna be them.
You know what they always
one way
say?
Or another.
It's not about how long it's not about if you know your it's a Chinese proverb. But it's not about where
you're from, but where you going?
No, it's really bad. I'm having such a bad brain fart. Cause Dean's got that good pack. That's all it is. That's all it is. He got that dome pack.
It's my homie SB.
Nah, more importantly, it has something to do with, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's about knowing where you're going. As long as you know where you're going, it doesn't matter how long it'll take you to get there. It doesn't matter what Timmy, Bobby, Sally, it doesn't matter what they're doing.
And that's why I do stuff like this every day.
You're on your own path.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's weird because everyone's version of success is different. If I told myself in high school where I'm not, I'd be like, yo, you're successful as hell. I'd be like, dude, you have no idea. I am not successful at all.
If I could go back and tell like my 14 to 17-year-old self, don't do it, motherfucker. Stay away from her. All of her. All of the things with coochies, just take a break.
Slow down.
Focus on other shit. But nonetheless, like, everything that I've been through, I'm appreciative nonetheless, because it's made me the man I am today. And whether I am wealthy or not, like, I'm damn near amazing.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
I know I've done some things like others can't, and nonetheless, that's what I tell everyone who I come in contact with. You're one of one. Can't nobody do what you do. That's from putting your one foot down every morning and getting up and doing what you're doing every day. Nonetheless, you do it perfectly to a T. Nobody's the same artist. Nobody's the same videographer. Nobody's the same designer. Everything's going to be different.
I mean, I would say, how many hours a week do you think that you dedicate to your craft?
That is fucking impossible to calculate, because
you just all the time.
My brain literally runs with, like, even from this, I'm probably gonna go in the house. Like, my daily thing now is I find a sitcom to watch, whether I'm focused on an anime or something else or not, to have as background music. Then I put on my headphones, I listen to whatever I listen to, and then I get into my idea bag and I bang it all out. After this, in my head running through is all of this good experience. So I'm probably going to sketch a little cartoon of you and Draw Cool Shit style, and all the other little things that have ran through my head and everything that we've talked about. And I'm probably going to sneak that into the artwork throughout time now, because that's what I do, because that is what Draw Cool Shit is.
Speaking of what Draw Cool Shit is, potential collabs.
Of course.
I know you're busy.
Very open this year. No, I'm open to all collabs this year. All good collabs. I've had a couple where it's like, no, you need to go get some more experience first. just to lay that out on the table flat off.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm ready. Of course, since we've already done shit, so.
Exactly.
Scary.
So, I don't know how much we're going to say on the record, but, you know, I'm not trying to let everyone know what we're talking about, but I'm going to just say this is just one idea I have. I want to do a lot of upcycling.
Okay, yeah. I'm with it.
That's
you know what's crazy? Because that's all I've been doing.
And that's like my next thing with my brand. I've decided that I need to be doing vintage clothing with my branding, right? So you could buy the one of one from that collection, or if you can't get that one of one because it's not in your size, I get a T-shirt for you.
Hey,
so
because if my artwork is going on it, it's damn sure one of one.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that might be the route to go. You know, and
shit, I just got me.
I need to watch out.
I just got me 2 extra large Carhartt sweaters today. I'm finna go find some patches for and get my acrylic paint on. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing with all of the throwaway and recycled clothing from my job.
Yeah.
So, and we come across a lot of like big brands like Carhartt and Gildan and everything.
Exactly.
So why not? And I give it away to the homeless if it's way too big and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I'm always at Staples and Office Depot riding past homeless. So help when you can. Shit.
What you just got to hear for about the last hour was a candid conversation with an up-and-coming artist. I really would recommend that you guys check him out before he's out of sight and out of reach. It's sad to say, we only recorded for about an hour and 15 because of technical difficulties, but we spoke for about 3.5, almost 4 hours. You know, of course, about an hour and 15 on the record. But within those hours, I really got a chance to understand and know Sneak. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to collaborating with him in the future.